a beautiful performance by Volkanovski because he had his plan. He knew what he wanted to do. You could tell, as soon as he got the takedown and he started forcing him towards the cage, it's telling you something. I think that I can just manhandle you and control you and keep you from being able to use it to get up. He did for the most part throughout it. He did some damage. Yair was trying to throw elbows from underneath, and he got a little, couple of them in there and stuff. But people don't understand, Josh, the difference between the power that is created from someone being in the top position compared to the power of someone that's on their back. And yes, you can cut somebody. You can. And cuts are, they're part of the sport and they can have an effect. I'm not saying they can't. But when you get cut like Volkan, that's a nothing. It's not going to do anything, and it doesn't really truly damage you. Where the shots that Yair was taking, those become damaging, and they become something that lasts throughout the fight and you don't recover from. And it just systematically starts to break you down and degrade you as in your abilities to do what you're so good at. There was a couple times on the feet, Yair looked really good. The first question mark kick he threw was like, well, that was nice. Just missed, but it was really nice the way he did it, the way he set it up, everything. But Volkanovski, he's got that fucking style, man. He will take shots. He will look for that opening. He doesn't rush. He doesn't panic. And he just sets about doing what he and his team have planned for him to do against that opponent. And, I think he gave Yair Rodriguez a ton of respect. In watching the fight and the way that he went about it, he was giving him respect on the feet. He knew this guy's dangerous, man. He can pull out a lot of stuff. And he gave, space at time, and he did some things, but he always went back to being the guy that was going forward. And you got to give it to him. He dismantled a very good fighter in Yair. I think, when we were talking last week, Yair's good. He's good. He's good off his back. Yes, he's good on the feet. He's amazing as far as the plethora of damn techniques that he uses in a fight. But you can only take so many shots, and everyone breaks down at a different, level. And with Volkanovski, you can only take so many before it starts to deplete you. And that's what happened in this fight.
Did you feel like the moment got to him a little bit? Because I feel like he gave away the first round. As soon as he got taken down, when Volk caught the kick and got the easy takedown, there was no sense of urgency to get back to your feet. And we all, I think he should have known. I think majority of us knew that Volk's game plan was to potentially take him down, control that top position. After seeing how well Volk did against Islam in the wrestling department, even getting back up, even trying to threaten to get takedowns, all of those things. We've kind of figured that his game plan would be to take Yair down. Did you think though that when I watched that, there was no sense of urgency to get back up. He was kind of cool, just hanging out on the bottom. Like, you can't afford to give away a round to someone who is obviously one of the most physically fit athletes in the world, and he showed that in his last fight with a bigger guy or a heavier guy or someone that feels supposed to be physically stronger than you, going up in weight class. He was still pushing away, and in that fifth round, he was winning that fifth round. And in this fight, Yair just seemed like he clammed up a little bit in that first round after he got taken down. Second round, pretty much the same thing. Kind of had a little bit more of a focus on getting back to his feet. But in the second round, he did kind of the same thing. He kind of was comfortable just hanging out on the bottom. I'm not taking a lot of damage. No real reason to kind of, push myself to get back up, give up a position. You can't afford to do that. You got to get up. And I felt like
he was taking damage.
I think the moment he was a little bit, John, but look, the cuts were happening, but it wasn't like he was getting hit with a ton of big shots. He got hit with a couple shots that cut him. And then that started to wear on him, I think. I agree with you that, look, when you do get cut, it starts changing the dynamic of how you fight and how you, and just your energy level. Everything changes after you start, basically feeling the blood puddle up in your eyes, starts going in your mouth. You start, it starts getting hard to breathe if it's coming through your nose. All of those things start to have an effect on how you fight. I just looked at it that I felt like he kind of clammed up in the big fight. This was something that, we started seeing a little bit more of the real Yair in the third round, early in the third, and then he got clipped, and then it was all downhill. I felt like he kind of clammed up. You don't think so?
I think he went out there with his game plan that he was going to be able to stay on the feet and fight Volkanovski at, a range that he was able to utilize those front kicks and everything. And he did that in sporadic moments, but he wasn't able to maintain it. Yeah. And I agree with you. In my opinion, he needed more urgency on getting himself back to his feet. You cannot stay there on the ground and just take shots. You're losing, not only, even if you're not being damaged a lot, you're losing the round, and you can't give too many rounds away to someone like Volkanovski because they're hard to make up.
Yeah, he's going to make you earn every single round that you lost already. He's going to make you earn every minute of that round if you're going to win it. And the first two, it felt like he just kind of was like, okay, I'm good down here. Look, I expected more out of him, but, I mean, Dave, can you click on him? How old is he, 27? He's still young, I believe.
Yeah, he's still young.
Oh, no, 30. He's 30. He's 30. He's still got some time, though.
He's still young.
So in there, he's got 4 more years, I think, and he'll make another run at it, depending on what Volk does. He's 15-4. Who are his losses to? I know one's to Frankie Edgar.
Frankie Edgar.
Max
Holloway, and then one early in his career.
Got it.
Where's that one?
Got it.
There it is.
So, sorry, excuse me. Look, I'm more interested to find out exactly where Alexander Volkanovski goes from here. I mean, look, the Topuria fight is definitely there in the background, kind of, waiting to be.
Who is he calling out?
Hold on. Yeah,
who was he calling out?
You admire him for that. I admire him for that because, I mean, most people. Can you pull up the rankings there for us, Dave? Look, most people would say, like Max is getting his wins. But they've already fought a couple times. What do you do with them? The Brian Ortega fight was a very good fight, but Brian had his moments. I think in round 3 with the guillotine and the triangle, but then after that, it was all Volk again. You've got Arnold Allen there, but Arnold's coming off of a loss, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so Arnold's coming off of a loss. You got Topuria. I mean, I understand why they would push Topuria ahead of Max and Brian and those guys. I feel like Topuria needs one more fight, and whether it's against Max, whether it's against Yair, I don't know, but I don't know. I feel like he needs one more fight, but then again, you're gonna have Max sitting around waiting, and not Max, but Volk sitting around waiting for an opponent. If you do that, unless he goes up to 55 again, so we will see, man.
I think Topuria is the opponent. I think we talked about it before. I think that's the right opponent at this time, especially the way he's fighting. He's been dominating people.
Yeah,
and dominating good fighters. Taking guys that are great submission guys and submitting them and doing the things that you look and you go, yeah, you're doing all the right things, and you put yourself in a position to where now the champ is actually calling out your name, saying, "Oh, you think you're something." I want to show you that you're not. That's the whole game right there. That's what you want to do. So I think that's to me, that's the matchup that makes sense. Topuria is still undefeated. If you're Volkanovski, again, you got to find, and even you talked about it. What's his mentality going to be coming off the loss? Is that going to affect him? Anything like that? Well, you can see, no, he's got a super strong mentality. But it is always good to have those things that help motivate you. And when you take a look at someone that has not been defeated, that's a good motivator. It's one of those things you go, oh, I want to be the person that puts the big old mark on that 0. I want to get rid of that O, and I want to be the one that does it. That's the kind of things that you're looking for as the champ. It helps. It helps motivate you. It helps get you in the gym, and it helps keep you, working hard. And it's obvious, that dude works hard. That dude is a stud.
100% agree.